Hey kings, it's ya boy, Teams of Regret. Been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, being employed and having hobbies doesn't leave me with much free time to make videos. It is what it is, I guess. Anyways, I wasn't expecting to make another video touching on mentally deficient console warriors in years, but here they are, finding a way to drag me back into the clown show. Well, I'm sure you've heard all about it by this point. Sony tried to force PC players to link their Helldivers account to PSN. The PC players stood up for themselves, and after some convincing from the Helldivers devs, Sony backed off. So in a single move, Sony just basically torpedoed its own live service aspirations in the future with this move and backtracks because they realized how stupid it was. All in all, they figured out the hard way that PC players, unlike their buck-broken console counterparts, aren't so easily bullied. This, of course, is a good thing. Megacorps getting bullied into reversing terrible decisions should be something universally celebrated. But if that were the case, I wouldn't be making this video now, would I? Because of course, console warriors who have made a corporate brand their entire identity decided that they just needed to be stupid. So you see, these unwashed, glazing Sony fanboys have crawled out of their nasty basements to berate PC players for not wanting to link their PC accounts to a mega corporation that's had 9 different data breaches in the past 10 years, sometimes even causing people to lose thousands and thousands of dollars due to the data breach. Of course, this isn't yet taking into account that the account linking was mandated months after the launch, after people have sank hundreds of hours into the game and couldn't possibly get a refund without Steam deciding to make an exception. And I know what you corporate phallic slurpers are gonna say. That the linking was only postponed due to server issues at launch, or that other companies and publishers also mandate account linking. Now these are all fine points on their own, but the thing about the Helldivers situation is that it's way more than just a matter of account linking. Now consider this. Why would you sell the game in regions without PSN support if you're going to force users to link a PSN account to play it? Not only does it make no sense, that's also shady as fuck. Dare I say, borderline scam or theft. Now, it's one thing to mandate account linking from the get-go. I think that's perfectly reasonable if that's what they did, but that's not what they did, of course. I mean, I wouldn't be making this video if it was. See, it's another thing entirely to force it later down the line and to take away the game from players in unsupported regions even after you sold the game to them. That's deceptive, that's deceitful, that's duplicitous, and that's also a bunch of other words that mean misleading. See, that's the whole crux of the issue. Not that we had to link accounts, but that Sony was being borderline fraudulent about it. But, of course, console warriors being console warriors are too stupid to realize this. In their mind, it's all about the brand. Nothing above the brand, nothing before the brand, so obviously when their favorite brand does something so irredeemably stupid, something even the fucking CEO of the studio that made Helldivers itself thinks is a bad situation, well, these corporate slaves just have to come out in full force to defend the brand. Now these corporate cockmunchers who have zero personalities outside of simping for their favorite brand and company, well, they'll say all sorts of stupid things like crying emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji, no fanbase cries like the PC fanbase. How many other companies require you to make accounts to play their games, shrugging emoji? Now, as you can see here, corporate slave Kieran is intentionally, and dare I say maliciously, misinterpreting the whole situation. It's not that we have to make a PSN account to play the game, it's that they're forcing us to link the account months after the fact. Moreover, PSN is only locked to 69 countries, while to my understanding, EA, Ubisoft, Activision, even Microsoft accounts work worldwide. Now, I am fortunate enough to live in a country where PSN is supported, but I can't say the same to my friends living in the Philippines who were just robbed of a game that they bought legally and used to play with me. This intentional misunderstanding of the situation is repeated by this dumbass going by Galeplay, who says, I'm forced to make and link a Microsoft account so I can play Sea of Thieves on PS5, yet no one talks about it. Why? Because it's a non-issue like this. Heck, I'm forced to make a Square Enix account to be able to play Final Fantasy XIV. See, the thing they're intentionally ignoring so that their flimsy defense doesn't immediately collapse on itself like a supernova turning into a black hole is both Sea of Thieves and Final Fantasy XIV asks you to sign in with the accounts from the get-go. Microsoft and Square were upfront about needing an Xbox or Squeenix account to play their game. The same couldn't be said of Helldivers, and just because I know a few of you dumbasses are gonna say it, having one forum post, not an official announcement, but a forum post, squirreled away in the Steam forum saying that they're letting you skip the PSN linking for now and that it's a temporary measure to relieve server issues. That doesn't count, especially not when the game is being sold in regions without PSN support. But of course, Galeplay and Kieran, well, these people don't compare to the absolute brainlet that is Harte at 60 FPS, who I can only assume has an IQ score down in the single digits. This man, I shit you not, tried to make fun of PC players by comparing Helldivers forcing PC players to link PSN accounts to Minecraft Legends kindly asking you to link your Microsoft account and somehow missing the big red skip button right there on his screen. Like, I have no idea how dumb you have to be to miss that right there. And predictably, after people rightfully called him out for such blatant idiocy, he shifted goalposts to comparing Helldivers to Sea of Thieves, which does mandate you to link your Microsoft account before they allow you to play. But this falls flat because I already explained earlier, Sea of Thieves never tried to fool anyone with this. But this was just one side of the idiocy. There's a whole other side. There's the ones who go on and on about how PC players don't actually play or buy games, that all they do is pirate games and other supposedly illegal stuff, which Twitter user OddAI, who once tagged Joe Biden's Twitter account to cry about Xbox buying out Activision, so you definitely know he's a perfectly well-adjusted individual, lists out as modding and emulating. Now, of course, every sane and well-read person knows that modding and emulating isn't illegal. If it were illegal, emulators wouldn't exist. So, once again, as you can see, because it's all these dumbass corporate slaves to do, because let's be real here, if they were smart or creative, they wouldn't be corporate slaves. These people are once again being disingenuous, intentionally misunderstanding and deflecting about the situation at hand. They're not engaging with the argument properly. They're just obfuscating and lying and overall saying ridiculous stuff to screen for the fact that Sony is literally yoinking away game access from thousands of people for the sole purpose of padding their growth numbers for the quarterly investor meeting, and somehow these brainlets don't see a problem with that. And don't get me started with the piracy angle. These people seem to have deluded themselves into thinking that PC players don't play games and that we only pirate them. Like Mr. JTech here, who's infamous for sending unsolicited dick pics to Sony Santa Monica developers, seems to insist that PCs make up a negligible amount of the gaming market and that we don't buy and play games, that we just pirate them. See, had that been a case, PC players wouldn't be making a solid 70% of the Helldivers 2 player base, which, honestly just confirms to me that Sony fanboys don't even play their own games. Finally, though, we come to these fanboys' last desperate offensive. Their final, miserable, pathetic attempt to try and shame PC players into complying with Sony, even though Sony itself has realized that they've awoken the sleeping giant and decided to backtrack and, not do the stupid thing. So these fanboys, they go on an all-out miserable offensive and they call us Karens, crybabies, whiny bitches, so on and so forth. Now, these fanboys, frankly, they will only call PC players entitled crybaby Karens because, well, they're so buck-broken they can't mentally understand someone standing up for one's own rights and interests anymore. They don't understand that PC players are individualists. We build our own computers, and we figure out our own stuff. We don't need some corporation stepping in and telling us what to do. No, leave that for the Sony fanboys who can't even complete game puzzles without NPCs telling them all the solutions. Now, these Sony fanboys, they're like the Israelites, who rebelled against Moses, the man who was leading them out of slavery in Egypt to the Promised Land. These fanboys, like the rebelling Israelites, they're so used to their taskmaster's whip that the concept of independence and self-determination is scary to them, so they shun it, they call it dangerous, they call it foolish, and they demand to be delivered back into bondage. It's sad, really, but people who do not want to be helped cannot be saved. Man, I really wasn't expecting to make another console warrior video, especially in the year of our Lord 2024, but the Helldivers situation really got me heated. I'm sorry, hopefully it won't happen again. It probably will, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully the next time I publish a video on this channel, it'll be one of the reviews I've been putting off working on for a while. You know, life is busy when you have work and hobbies and all that. If you want to see that, feel free to subscribe if you already aren't. Anyways, this has been Teams of Regret. Wishing you all good luck and Godspeed. Signing out.
Watch out, I'm gonna drop a big ass bomb down there.
Good hit.
Good hit. Thanks.